Good morning and good evening, all. Thanks for taking your time for today's discussion. We are going to discuss on Axon data governance features and how it integrates and collaborates with other Informatica data governance products. Some of you might be aware of how Axon works as a product. Today, my intention is to take you around understanding of Axon, how data governance use cases have been evolving, what is the data governance context in current industry perspective, how Axon solves data governance use cases. Further to this, we are going to get around Axon technical and functional features, what is Informatica solution for data governance, and what are the building blocks for the solution. And we also cover Axon features, and we are going to end the discussion with a demo. Axon is a data governance repository which is used to store and consume the data that is managed in an enterprise. Axon comes with set of facets or inventories which can be described different aspects of our organization. There are roughly around 25 facets in your Axon tool, which describes different aspects of organization. All facets in Axon are interconnected. Once you start using Axon and feed the data into Axon, over a period of time, you will be creating a powerful context and knowledge graph that scales naturally, and you can continue to add more content and onboard more business use cases to Axon. You can start small based on your data governance use case and use few facets that are relevant to your data governance use case. Now, what is data governance? Data governance is understanding how your data is getting generated, moved, or consumed, and what are the policies around data consumption, who are the stakeholders of your data. Now, in the modern world, the data governance is getting complicated due to change in business processes, or business is evolving, or changes in compliance within the organization, or a new compliance is enforced by government. Informatica data governance is a powerful tool to describe how and where data is used in organization, and it will give much needed context to the activities which are being done within your data governance initiative. Axon facilitates collaboration between different communities who may always realize and how they depend upon each other and use the same resource. Axon gives users a chance to combine these activities and describe multiple independent perspectives surrounding its use. By bringing these together, we can show how everything fits together. So Axon architecture is a group of or set of microservices which supports Axon functionalities. OrientDB is used which supports such functionality. Postgres database is used as a storage for your all Axon metadata which we are uploading into Axon. Different functionalities are being supported by different microservices within Axon framework. So Axon functional architecture. Set of users within organization based on their role and position in the organization. They collaborate and create Axon. They create a data catalog within Axon, and they are going to key in the data in the required facets based on their functional position in the organization. Axon has a framework to relate data between the facets, and the relationships are manually added to the data when they are being uploaded. And Axon will also give a provision the through dashboards you can control how data is being controlled or how data quality metrics are being displayed within your data governance initiative. Those things can be achieved using Axon dashboards. If you might have come across Axon playbook, which is used for starting a Axon data governance journey. So Axon comes with set of facets, which we know they are interrelated. Now, which facet needs to be started while you are onboarding a data governance use case? So this flowchart shows you need to start create your organization unit, add people to your organization unit, create glossaries, systems, data sets, and move on. So based on your use case, you can feed the data to these facets and keep adding or onboarding use cases in Axon. Now, Informatica Enterprise Data Governance Solution. Axon is a front-end UI which supports data governance use cases. Behind Axon, there are other Informatica products like Informatica Data Quality, which supports in understanding perspective of data quality for a data asset or a data asset. Data catalog gives a technical view of the logical or business data assets which are uploaded into Axon. So data privacy management gives you understanding what is the risk or risk exposure to your data, how data is being protected. Around these details will be exposed through data privacy management. In a whole, data governance provides business context of data, define the processes, policies, ownerships, and data stewards, and enables your non-technical consumers to give an ability to understand and access the data. So how data between these data governance products flow? From data quality, Informatica data quality product, data quality rules and scorecards will be moving into Axon. Like in runtime, Axon is going to extract based on the map or overlay, data quality overlay, or if you want to run the dashboard, data quality dashboard. In runtime, these details are fetched from Informatica data quality. And the physical assets or attributes which are linked to Axon glossaries are displayed within Axon in runtime. And in the same way, if data privacy management is integrated and overlay of data you want to represent and to understand the risk, or you want to validate the risk or identify the sensitivity data, whether it is protected, and these kind of details will be extracted from data privacy management into Axon data governance tool. Data marketplace. Data marketplace is how data can be shared in more organized and controlled way with transparency and provide you a audit trail on data democratization. It will give a simple store-like experience for analysts. Consumers can browse and search for relevant data sets. Producers can produce the data sets in marketplace, which can be published from data governance to data marketplace. Consumers can request data assets that they need. And once data assets are being approved, they can get access to the data sets. So who are the different personas who are involved in data marketplace? Data consumer is a user who is interested in accessing some data set within the organization. He can log into data marketplace and search for his favorite data assets. Data owner is a person who is having access on, who will be able to approve the access which are being requested by data consumer. Technical owner will be the person who is going to approve for accessing or porting the data or provisioning the data for the data consumer. Administrator and super administrator are Axon specific roles who have capability to do configuration and administration on Axon infrastructure. So what activities can be performed? So consumers can raise access request within a data collection and a specific category, and data owners can approve it and fulfill the data requests which are being raised. How data marketplace works? A data owner creates data collection within data governance product. A data consumer can search and find the product. And if he raises a request, it will reach to data owner. Once approved by a data owner, data asset is going to be provisioned to the data consumer. That is how the flow of request between data owner and data consumer works. This is a sample dashboard of a data quality for a specific data assets, which displays data quality rules that are incorporated on specific data assets. What is the completeness, accuracy, validity, and timeliness of the data, and what are the different data rules by type are displayed, and other graphical representation of DQ related metadata. Now this screen talks about how data you can map your data or you can view your data at a system level, at a data asset level, and you can also see the linkage between the data assets or systems within your organization. So these relationships at attribute level are pulled from enterprise data catalog. This is a sample representation of data at attribute level that can be represented in Axon. This is a sample screenshot from Axon data privacy management. It gives, when you want to check a specific policy, what is the risk score attached to the policy, what is the protection status, and what is the sensitivity levels of a specific policy. And it can be overlaid to the attribute, and it can show the individual scores of data privacy. This is an Axon data privacy dashboard, which talks about how much amount of data is protected, what is the risk exposure of your sensitive data, and what is overall risk score of your data assets which are being scanned over data privacy management. These are these are Axon major features across different Axon releases. So the latest Axon version which is being released is Axon 7.1. Axon 7.1 comes with major EDC enhancements, which will facilitate integration, better integration between EDC and Axon. The new features like lineage recommendations and notifications, default glossaries, auto delete attribute relationships have been added. View of custom attributes for physical fields and access based restriction on EDC permissions. So previously, if you have access to Axon, a specific if you have access to Axon, you will be able to navigate through any data EDC resource. Now that restrictions will be controlled, like the way a user has access to a specific set of resources in EDC, a similar set of access restrictions is being implemented in Axon, so that both the user A will have a same set of access for the resource and same set of resource access in Axon. A improved marketplace UI has been features have been added, and ServiceNow integration is also being implemented. On Axon Infra in 7.1, Docker utility is available. You can integrate with multiple LDAP authentications. Now you can use external PostgreSQL. Prior to 7.1, you will be able to use only packaged PostgreSQL database. From 7.1, you will be able to use external PostgreSQL SQL database. If you're installing or deploying your Axon environment in AWS cloud, you will be able to have a Postgres RDS within AWS environment. And support for Azure SQL Data Warehouse profiles and scorecard has been added in 7.1. Some improvements around segmentation have been added in 7.0, and segmentation feature has been added in 7.0, which allows you to or control the access within a geography, business area, or a business function, or a legal entity. Bulk delete, bulk upload are the features that are added in 7.0, and language support for Axon is Dutch, Korean, and Portuguese and Russian. Marketplace feature has been added in 6.3, and REST API continuous improvement in REST API features, and the REST API feature has been started with 6.3 version. So these are the major features of Axon. So as I said, the major features around Axon EDC integration, automated lineage, enhanced physical field view, rule-based onboarding. So previously you will be able to do auto onboarding when a glossary is related to physical field or asset in EDC, that will get automated. You can control further to that at resource level, or you can add some regular expressions and control the onboarding. Axon scanner update. Previously, when you are running Axon scanner, you are going to extract Axon glossaries into EDC. Now, further to this, data assets, Axon data assets, attributes, Axon data assets and systems are also being populated from Axon to EDC when you run Axon scanner in 10.4.1 SP2 version. So access control around resource access, as I said, the permissions around Axon resources has been improved to meet EDC access levels. Bulk upload enhancements have been done, and create filter for reporting and segment user assignments have been enhanced. And as said earlier, multiple LDAP support is being added. Now, Axon 7 features, a quick overview of Axon 7 features. I try to duplicate here. Let us move on. So let us move on to Axon demo. First of all, I want to show you how in 10.4.1 SP2, a Axon scanner, what metadata from Axon is extracted into EDC. So let me open EDC. I'm logging into LDM catalog. So this feature works only from EDC 10.4.1.2. Let me show you the version about Informatica 10.4.12. Now let me search for a Axon resource. I'll click on Axon resources, and I'll filter to Axon. And I'm going to open an Axon resource which has been created after Axon is upgraded to 7.0. So prior to Axon 7.1, you were seeing Axon glossaries extracted into EDC. Now Axon data sets are extracted, Axon attribute systems are also extracted into EDC, and Axon policies have been extracted. So if you click on any of these data sets, the stakeholder details are also being extracted into EDC. So if I expand system attributes, you can see the data. So what is the access type? is been extracted from Axon, and when it is last modified or last run from Axon. So Axon resource name and the stakeholders and status of the resource. So this is about how Axon metadata is extracted from Axon 7.1 to Axon EDC 10.4.1.2. Now let us move on to Axon demo. So there are two ways you can search assets or do a edition in Axon. Either you can explore without logging in using Explore Unison Search, or you can log in using a specific user who can contribute towards Axon data governance. So there are new set of walkthroughs have been added, which I'm going to take you through. Let me start exploring Axon Unison. So let me start with Axon walkthroughs. New walkthroughs have been added from 7.1. So if you want to do any of this task, you can have a sample demo on how it can be done. So let me click on workflow and change management and how to create a change request. Just click on change request, click on start button. So it is going to show you the navigation. It's a live demo on your environment. This feature has been added. So once you click on this, simply need to follow the screen tips, how you can raise a change request. Okay, so once you provide the required details and save, you will be able to create a change request, and you need to add a workflow to the change request. Let me close it. So in Axon 7.1, there is a new walkthroughs have been added. This feature will be very useful for people who are new to Axon interface, can quickly learn using this walkthrough feature. Let me go to search functionality of Axon. So let me search for a specific glossary. The filter, let me clear the filter. So let me search for party data glossary. So party data will show you the details and definition and description what this glossary is all about. If you click on the relationship, glossary is a hierarchical object, Axon object, which will show an hierarchy of objects which are created within a glossary. So once you expand this tree, you can see what are the list of entities under a domain. So the broader the parent or domain glossary should cover a broader scope so that you can keep adding the entities and terms within a domain. So data quality rules around this Axon, if any data quality rules have been added for this specific glossaries, those rules will be displayed prior to data quality Axon integration. And if you have also done Axon and enterprise data catalog integration, if any assets are linked to these glossaries, data assets or attributes are linked to these glossaries, those physical fields will be displayed. And what all change requests have been raised for this glossary. You can check all the change requests that have been raised for this glossary. Okay, let me do one more search. So let us go for a data asset this time. Let us search for a specific data asset called CMD. We clear the filter. Let me open a data asset. So in the same way, you will be able to see summary of the data asset and what are the attributes links to this data assets. These details are coming from EDC, Enterprise Data Catalog, and the relationships, whatever have been uploaded into this data sets. What is the data quality metrics around this data set will be displayed once you integrate your data quality with Axon. Okay, let me quickly show you the dashboard scene within Axon, a pre-built dashboards. So user has the dashboard is set of widgets. You can create each of the widgets from an from a facet, okay, and you can have a summary of your Axon data governance or facets data which you have uploaded into Axon. Now let me move into data quality, how a data quality is represented within Axon. Let me clear the filter. Let me click on a data asset. So once you click on this data quality results will be coming up. So if you want to see a map or a graphical representation how data flows for this data asset, you need to click on map. This shows how data is being flown between at system level. You can change this map to dataset level and multi-node lineage level. And further to this, you can overlay this map with different options, description, glossaries, data quality rules, and etc. So let us quickly try data quality. If data quality rules present for this specific data asset, they are going to be displayed in this way. So data quality first name, the completeness of the first name is 96%, accuracy is 93%, validity and timeliness. It is not only showing the lineage, it is also showing you the data quality metrics around this overlay. So if you want to filter, okay, your graph, you need to scroll down, scroll up, and it is kind of showing in multi-page. You want to reduce the size of it, you have options to filter. You right now all checkboxes are checked, so you're able to see complete data of data. So whatever entities that are not required, you can uncheck them and reduce the size of your map. So let me move on to data marketplace. This is Axon 7.1. So there are some changes in terms of visual changes in data marketplace. So the tile representation of objects which are published from data governance into data marketplace has been added. So you will be able to search for assets. Consumers will be able to search for assets, and what data I own will be displayed here. So someone has raised a request for accessing a specific data set. It will be coming into the approver queue. You can accept or reject the request. What all the requests that are fulfilled, that this list will show. What all the requests that have been withdrawn. So you have provided the access and you have withdrawn the access. That list will be shown here. What all the pending requests, that list will be shown here. So let us move back to the search field. Okay, let me open. So from Axon 7.1, you will be able to see the ratings which are being extracted in runtime from Enterprise Data Catalog. So let us open this legal entity data asset. So you will be seeing the purpose of this asset, delivery, and you will also be seeing the ratings, who published, data owner related data details. And if you expand it, data, what and attributes are there behind these data assets, and their data quality representation is also being displayed here, which shows the different aspects of data quality that are being measured in your data quality tool. Further to this, delivery, and then you can even see the ratings. These are new features which has been added in 7.1. What are the ratings have been provided, and the date and time. And you can also see who approved it and fulfill and withdraw for this specific data asset. So with this, I want to conclude the demo. I hope this demo added value and given value for your time. Thanks a lot for spending your time, and have a good evening. Bye.
Hello everyone, please post your questions in the Q&A box and we'll try and answer them. Hi Rakesh, we have had few questions from Alex. Do you want me to call out the questions that, though we have answered them, would you like to call them out?
Yeah, go ahead, Huda.
Yeah. So the first question goes like this. For automated onboarding, does it really rely on training or configuring data domains and data discovery rules? We are trying to demo this, but are restricted to the glossary needing proper discovery rule to pick up on terms in EDC.
So basically, the way it works is once you scan your Axon, once you create your Axon resource in EDC and scan it, and once you run your EDC resource with business term association enabled, that is where the linkage is done. So once a physical attribute is like a business term is associated to a physical attribute, those business terms will get automatically onboarded into Axon for a specific resource if auto onboarding is enabled in Axon. That is how it works. From 7.1, this can be further restricted by adding some filters using regular expressions.
Thank you. We have another question. Will Axon 7.1 version work with EDC 10.4.0 version?
Yes, it works.
Thank you. We have another question. Is custom lineage from EDC also supported in maps?
Custom lineage. Sachin, do you want to pick this up?
Sorry, can you come again, Vrinda?
Yeah, the question goes like this. Is custom lineage from EDC also supported in maps?
So the custom lineage, those attributes is extracted from there to Axon, then only we'll see it in maps actually.
Okay, thank you. Another question. Can we have any small demo example with sample data, Axon, IDQ, and EDC, and DPM, how it helps in real-time IT industry?
With these examples, I think the demo and all should be available in some of the webinars. If not, so probably we'll take it up, Vrinda, for our future actions. And
sure.
yeah, so that better understand.
Yep. Thank you. Next question. The data quality rules for Axon data sets can only be defined in Informatica data quality tool, or they can also be defined in Axon too.
Yeah, that is answered actually. So if user has IDQ, then it's well and good. That is like, the automated way is available within the Informatica tools, seamless integrations. But if they are using other than IDQ, then probably they have to go to automated ways API through actually. So they have to write some sort of scripts to update the result from the other tool to Axon actually, or else manually.
Thank you. Next question. When you extract dataset objects from Axon to EDC, the data quality rules associated with the dataset Axon could be extracted in EDC.
So the question should be, we don't extract the data sets from Axon to EDC. So I think the question is on the other way, I guess. I would suggest to probably reiterate the question probably in the right way, I guess.
Okay,
Like
could you please elaborate on it so that we can answer, so would be able to answer your question. Next question. Roles and privileges are typically used to control access to database objects and data. So don't quite get how the idea of shopping for data in a marketplace works from security perspective.
The way it works is, the stakeholders has to approve the access to any data consumption. Okay, that is how it is controlled. If stakeholder is approving to access particular data set, then only it will be provisioned to the required place to access the data. So it is in control with stakeholders.
Okay, thank you. Next is a follow-up question from Uma. She has asked sample for a demo example with sample data for Axon, IDQ, EDC, and DPM. If we could share the links with them of the webinars or anything that we have, can we do that after this session, Sachin or Rakesh?
Yeah, if some demos are available, yeah, we can share it. Sure.
Sure. We'll share it with you, Uma. Thank you. Next question. We see Axon does support LDAP, but it does not appear to have the same level of support as other tools, EDC, Power Center. As far as Microsoft AD goes, is this something we have missed, or is it planned for future?
Is that the question is all about, or is just a direct LDAP integration? So I'll just write it down on that, Vrinda. We'll have a follow-up question on that.
Sure. Thank you. We have another question. With Axon-related best practice for deployment in multi-environment like QA, Dev, Prod, or is it recommended to have Axon EDC on Prod only?
It depends on the user actually. So we would suggest to have it on at least dev environment so that you can just give a tryout and then see what best things you can extract it, and then same thing can be automated at the prod level actually.
Okay, thank you. Please post your questions in the Q&A box. We have some more time before we wind up this webinar. Sure, Mayank, we'll be sharing the recorded session with you. You will find the recording in the Informatica Support YouTube channel and the Success portal. Also, please set aside some time to complete the post-webinar survey and let us know your thoughts about this webinar. And if you have any future suggestions for our webinars, please do share it with us. We have another question, Rakesh. Any limitations for auto onboarded from EDC for 6.3 version known?
So the limitation is all about on the when you onboard it, right? So when you connect to the systems in the Axon to a particular EDC, so everything gets onboarded to the Axon side. So basically, the user wanted some sort of data to be onboarded. So that restrictions, we don't have it in 6.3 as well as 7.0. But when you have it 7.1, so you can have a rule-based thing that, if you want to have a particular schema to be onboarded and say for particular tables to be onboarded to the Axon, so those things can be done with the help of the latest version. I would suggest to please upgrade it to 7.1. You will have a better experience with that actually. Yeah.
Thank you, Sachin. Another question, do we have any 15 to 30-day free evaluation for Axon?
I don't think so. We have such facility, but I think we need to check with sales guys once.
Okay, thank you. We have another question. Is IDQ integration with Snowflake databases available?
No, as of now. Currently supported versions are Oracle, DB2, SQL Server, and Teradata. Snowflake would be probably the roadmap.
Thank you, Sachin. Another question, do we have access to Informatica Axon trial version to explore it further?
Again, the same thing. It has to go through the sales route actually.
Sure. Thank you, Sachin.
One more question, Vrinda. E2E rules.
I think Sachin is answering that.
Okay.
I just asked him to elaborate the process actually. So it's all about the demo, then probably yes, one or the other webinars it should be available, but Arunda, we need to check it out, and then probably we need to send those links to them actually.
Sure, we can do that, Sachin. So looks like we don't have any questions coming in. We have answered most of the questions that have shown up. Yeah, let's. So hope we have answered most of your questions. Mayank has a follow-up question. Probably he has elaborated on the previous question. Yeah. Do you want to answer that, Sachin?
Yeah. So I'm just answering it. So probably we'll send those links to them.
Okay. We have another question. Why do you want to use Axon systems, datasets, and attributes in EDC?
So EDC, it's just extractions we do from, like, we will show them some sort of views and then data sets over there, but there is no necessary of, using those things in EDC because most of the customers, they were asking to show some of the things, whatever was there in the Axon side of it, that's where we do extract it. Initially, we were extracting only the glossaries, but we do extract some more, the assets from Axon when we extract the Axon resource in EDC side. So going forward, you will see some sort of between the assets which is there in the Axon, especially the data set, systems, and attributes, and then those things, and then directly linked to the the EDC. Yeah, that is the one.
Thank you, Sachin. Hope we have answered all your queries. We have crossed the time limit of this webinar. If you have any queries, please, we will be connecting with you after this webinar. Hope you have answered all your questions. Thank you for joining. Hope everyone is safe. Thank you, Sachin and Rakesh, for this insightful webinar. Thanks a lot. See you on our next Tech Tuesdays. Bye.
Last question.